So I got the scare, and the guests are running. And what do I do now? The 3-step rule. This is Scaring with Sammy. Still no music, right? The 3-step rule is part of your actor safety training curriculum. And as it happens, I will be presenting a seminar at Transworld this year, 2026, on essential scare actor safety training. That'll be on Friday, March 27th at 10:15. And there's a lot of material to get through. So some things might have to get cut, including the 3-step rule. So what I'd like to do is present here today, and this will be a bit of a supplement to the seminar as well as a preview, because I'm going to discuss the 3-step rule in a similar manner to the way that I present safety at the seminar, which is I will be presenting the safety rule, the reason why, and how good safety technique is good scare acting technique. So jumping right in. The 3-step rule is actually a little bit more of a rule to protect the haunts than the actors specifically. And the idea is that when the guests are running, and this is probably more for outside midway characters than it is for inside, but it applies there as well. If the guests start running, the actor takes 3 steps and then stops. And the reason is, of course, safety and to protect the haunt. Now, we've all seen actors sort of running around and chasing guests all the way around, and it's kind of funny and it's kind of silly. But if somebody were to fall, then all of a sudden it becomes a lot less funny and a lot more serious and could be a real problem for the haunt. And that's because if a guest is running away from the actor, they're scared. And if the actor starts chasing after them and the guest turns around and looks and sees that actor behind them, then they're more likely to get panicked, more likely to get more scared, and far more likely to fall. They're far more likely to face plant into the concrete or whatever it is, and possibly even injuring themselves. So here's how it looks to your haunt's insurance carrier or a claimant. If the guests come in and they get scared and they start running and there's nobody chasing them and then they fall, well, it's kind of on them. They came to a haunted house. They knew that they were going to get scared and they chose to run. On the other hand, if the guests come in and they get scared, they start to run and the actor chases them and then they fall, now the claim has changed. It's now the actor knew that the guest was scared. The actor knew that there was a higher probability of them falling and hurting themselves if they got more scared and they were chasing them. And the actor, recklessly indifferent to their well-being, chased them and caused them to fall. And reckless endangerment as a claim interacts very differently with your waiver than if the guest just happened to fall on their own. And this is not legal advice, but I can tell you as a practicing attorney which one I would rather be defending. So that's why the 3-step rule is of great importance to protect the haunt, because we all want these wonderful places in which to play. On the other hand, the 3-step rule is also better for your actor's scare technique, specifically for your characters to maintain their power. So, as we said, when you see actors, chasing guests, running around, it's kind of funny, it's kind of silly. You know what it isn't? Scary. And that's because this can only end in 3 ways. One is, of course, face plants. Another way, which will never happen pretty much, is that the actor will catch up to the guest and they're not allowed to actually kill the guest. So what do? Nice run. Shall we do it again? I'm free Tuesday. Or what's most likely going to happen is that the guests are going to get away and eventually the actor will give up, which means that the character is completely ineffective at doing what it was trying to do, which was kill or hurt or maim or whatever it was. On the other hand, if they were to take 3 steps and stop, the guest is running away, who's next? And now they maintain their power, maintain that mystique of the character that will come after you and do something nasty to you, whatever the character would be able to do. So, as is often the case, good safety technique is also good scare technique. That's the 3-step rule. The 3-step rule is primarily to protect the haunt more than the actors specifically, even though you really don't want your actors unnecessarily running around where they can trip, be tripped, or somehow fall and injure themselves. So it is a little bit for the actors, but this is primarily to protect the haunts themselves. Also, if you attend the Transworld seminar, I will also be discussing how articulating these safety rules in a safety training can add another layer of protection to the haunt. Along with, of course, techniques for your actors and staff to help protect themselves and the haunt. That's the 3-step rule. If you enjoy these videos, if you find them informative or interesting, please like and subscribe, share them, maybe leave a comment. And of course, if you're at Transworld this year, find me, stop by, say hi. I always love talking about haunting. Once again, this is the 3-step rule, Scaring with Sammy. And cue music.